Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rekles Racing League. If you missed race 1, here's a little recap. We had some great battles, but it came down to Lon Franks and Bodie Cryer. These guys battled from beginning to end of this race, but it was on the last lap that Lon finally decided to make his move on Bodie. We'll see if he has anything for him here. Oh, he's got a fender up on him. He's going to give him just a little bump, just enough to move him out of the way as they go wheel to wheel up the back straight. He's going to hang on to it, blocks the inside. And yes, Lon Frank holds on to the position. He was able to steal it from Bodie. Not an easy thing to do, but he just wore him down lap after lap and used a little bit of a fender. It was a great race, and if you missed it, I'll leave a link at the end of the video. But now we're Wild Horse, and we have Cameron Peterson out front once again, alongside Lon Franks, Jeremy Sodorf in third, Gary Green in fourth, Jack Kirk in the 5 spot, Tom Debke in 6th, Bodie Cryer in 7th, and Josh Edmondson in 8th place. Unfortunately, both Josh and Bodie missed qualifying, so they'll be working their way up from the back. It's a beautiful day here at Wild Horse. It's 72 degrees with 75% humidity, and Cameron Peterson's going to lead us to the line once again. Lon Franks with some new graphics there, rocking the number 17 Carl Renezetter. He's coming off a win at Wild West last week. We'll see if he has anything for Cameron here at the start. Always a tough track to go green on as you start right in the middle of the corner. And here we go into the first tabletop jump. Kind of bounces you into turn 1 as we all set up. Looks like Cameron's going to stay out front. Jack Kirk dives to the inside. Into the treacherous turn 2. We have Cameron, Lon, Gary, Jeremy, Jack, Tom, Bodie. And Josh Edmondson was experiencing some goggle fog. We'll see if he can get that cleared up. Tom, Bodie, and Jack going through the whoops almost 3 wide. Good thing he got out of the way because they made a little contact and they're out in the loam. Looks like Jack's going to take a drift through the pits. That sign holder had nerves of steel. He didn't even flinch. Looks like Cameron's going to run a wide line, carrying a lot of speed. Looks like the top 4 have a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field as we come into turn 2 once again. Lon comes in hot on the bottom, but Cameron carries a lot of speed with his wide line, and it looks like there was some carnage in the back. Let's see what happened here. Tom and Jack come off the tabletop side by side. They both do a little tank swapping, but they get it gathered back up, and looks like Tom makes a little bit of contact with Jack and gets turned around. Gary Green gives Lon a little boost. He almost gets into Cameron, but everybody keeps it together as we go through the whoops once again. Jeremy taking a weird bounce. Cameron takes a slow entry into the corners, but he definitely gets good exit speed. As you can see, he's already pulled away from the rest of the field. Gary Green's right on Lon Frank's jumpers. Jeremy Sodorf takes a bite out of that outside wall to try to ricochet underneath him. Hard to compete with the speed of that outside line unless the other person makes a mistake. Looks like Jeremy's going to try the inside line again, but he gets it up on 2 wheels. Able to hang on to it. Bodie Cryer's within striking distance if anyone makes any major mistakes. Jeremy and Lon go door to door into turn 3 as they set up for the whoop section. Looks like Jeremy's going to continue to run that low line. It carries significantly less speed, but if something happens on the outside, you'll be able to capitalize on it. There's Josh Edmondson, normally one of our front runners. Looks like he might still be struggling with his VR goggles. Gary Green slides a little wide, and Bodie Cryer's charging up the inside, gonna see if he can make up a spot on both of them. All it takes is for 2 cars to tangle with each other and kill their speed enough for someone to pass them both. Looks like we're gonna use every inch of the whoop section as your top 5 rounds off another lap. Lon Franks is giving himself a little bit of breathing room as Cameron's way out front. You can see that wide line that he runs into turn 2. He must have some kind of secret sauce in order to keep that loam from sucking all the momentum out of his truck. Jeremy pushes a little wide and Bodie Cryer slides up alongside. Lon Franks running the right side of that whoop section. Sets you up nice for a good wide line into turn 4. As you can see, Cameron has a lot of breathing room here and he's fallen into his typical groove. Jeremy Sodorf still running that inside line. Definitely not the fastest way, but it helps keep people behind you. Jeremy's going to slide up into Gary, making a little bit of contact, but Everybody makes it out clean. As Lon Frank sets up for the right-hander here. It's important to get a good exit on this turn, but Lon likes to run that right side. Some may call that a cheater line, but I guess it depends on how far you push it out there. Looks like Jeremy's still applying quite a bit of pressure to Gary as Bodie's ready to pounce if anything should happen. I love to watch the suspension work on these cars. iRacing has done a phenomenal job with the physics in the Pro 4 category. The only thing that really seems to be lacking is a true tire model. As you can see, the tires appear to just sink into the dirt instead of mushroom out when they squish. We're coming up on lap 8 here, which is the halfway point of our race, at which time we've implemented a competition caution to regroup the field. Takes a little getting used to though. Sometimes you get caught up in the race and forget to check your lap counter, as happened to Bodie Cryer this time. He'll do a little stunt driving as he leaves tire tracks on top of Lon Frank's truck. Well, that'll conclude our halftime show today, and we'll line them up single file as Cameron Peterson leads us back to the line. It's up to the leader to call the ball. Looks like he takes a high approach to get a good downward drive into the tabletop. Your current running orders: Cameron Peterson, Lon Franks, Jeremy Soder, Bodie Cryer, Josh Edmondson. Oh, Tom Depke makes big contact with that wall, rolls it over, has good presence of mind to push in the clutch and get out of the track. But he's back on all four wheels and racing again. Tom's a great competitor, good setup builder, but he's had a lot of tough luck in the first 2 races with us. Here's a good look at your top 5 as they dive into turn 2. Always a tricky section on the restarts. I think that middle straight right there is where Cameron Peterson makes up a lot of time on the rest of the field. Same with this one here. As you can see, he takes wide entry and carries a ton of speed through the middle sections. Looks like Jeremy Soder's going to challenge Lon for second place here, but he has the outside line, which tends to always carry more speed unless the person on the outside makes a mistake, which isn't likely to happen. But Jeremy does, and Bodie Cryer gets up alongside him. Now Jeremy's going to have to go on the defense here, but Bodie bounces a little wide, so he's able to hold it. Bodie's going to look to the inside of turn 3. Oh, but Jeremy comes in too hot and gets into Lon, which upsets his car just enough for Bodie to get up alongside of him. We'll see if he can get a run. Jeremy dives down to the inside and gets on the wrong side of the berm. Looks like he's just going to lift off and let the field go rather than cause an accident. And it looks like Josh Edmondson's worked his way up to the top 4. Josh missed qualifying and then was struggling with foggy VR goggles in the beginning of the race, but it looks like he's gotten it straightened out as he's starting to apply pressure to Bodie. A little bumping and banging, but that's to be expected when you're racing hard, and that's what this is all about. As I've mentioned many times before, we do allow light contact such as that in this league because it's just part of short course racing and necessary to make a lap when you're dealing with drivers this consistent. Even though most of the contact that happens is unintentional, it still happens, and it's just a little bit of rubbing. Looks like the 005 is going to try to dive to the inside of Lon Franks, but it's really hard to make that pass work unless the outside car gets into the wall. Looks like we have a good 3-way battle here going into turn 2. A little technical difficulties there with the camera, but we're back on track. Bodie goes a little deep into turn 3. We'll see if he can get a run, as Lon likes to take that right lane through there. No, it was able to show him a fender, but that's about it. And Bodie takes the low line. Lon's going to run it all the way around the outside. Bodie's going to hold the low line. We'll see if that gives Josh a run on him coming down the back straight. Looks like we had a little technical glitch there. Not sure what's going on. I think I might have to find a new broadcast network. We'll go on board with Lon Franks here as he stuffs the bumper in the dirt on that back straight jump. Looks like they got a little breathing room on Josh, but Bodie's right there if he makes any kind of mistake. Lon likes to choke up and hit that inside line right there. It's kind of hard to stay out of him. But any contact there made would hurt both cars, so you try not to. Nice wide line running the top of the berm, carrying a ton of speed. Bodie pushes it right up next to the wall. Always a scary spot. Then he's going to dive back to the inside. Looks like Bodie gives him a little bit of a bump there as they come into turn 2. We'll switch angles and take another look here on this white flag lap. We'll see if anything interesting happens with these guys. Bodie pushes up on the inside again, but gets forced over there in Lon's line. Looks like Josh got a run up under him, but can't make it work. Very important to maintain good throttle control on that part of the track. If you just floor it, you'll spin the tires to where lifting off actually makes you go faster. Josh flicks it in hard as he's trying to make up ground on these guys, but they're just not giving an inch. We'll see if he can make up a position as he bumps Bodie just a little bit coming in here on this white flag lap. Oh, drifts a little wide on the right-hander. We'll see if he can get a run up the inside here and make a pass on both of them, but not likely. Has to lift off a little bit in order to avoid contact with Bodie as Bodie's holding the low line. And that'll wrap up race number 2 of Season 2 in the Open Series. Well, congratulations to Cameron Peterson for another win here. Looks like he's going to celebrate by slashing some brown pow out there in true Canadian style. I got to thank everyone for showing up and competing. It's a great group of guys. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and we hope you can make it back for the next one.
Yeah, that seemed like an action-packed race. We should be able to get something good out of that.
Yeah, man, because it's always fun with everybody here racing.
Yeah, like everybody in here races clean and stuff and fast, so it's cool. It's a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, it's the best racing all week. So let's keep it up, guys. Thanks.
I agree. All right, see you guys.
Agreed. See you guys.
Well, there you have it, straight from the racer's mouth. Some of the best races on iRacing Off-Road. If you want to join, go to iRacing League Directories and sign up with Rekles Racing Pro 4. We do have some minimum safety and class requirements, but they shouldn't be too hard for you to fulfill if you're a true off-road enthusiast. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.